Hi guys, welcome back. Continuing with the sharpening bit.
Yeah.
But don't forget, if you're not into doing the sharpening, come over to the dark side. You don't have to sharpen. Okay. But right, if you are interested, then carry on. So I've done about my sharpening system. That was to answer the question. That was for Marcus, and I hope that helped Marcus with the doing the how I fit the wheels. We've gone through a bit of sharpening using the skew, my roughing gouge, the angles I use, things like that. So we've done that bit. So the next thing really is a little bit on the bowl. I'll just touch a little bit on the bowl gouges. I know a lot of people probably think I don't like a bowl gouge or don't use it. I do love a bowl gouge, and I use it quite a bit when needed. But as I said before, I like the spindle gouge. Right, bowl gouges, again, different grinds and things for different things. I've covered a lot of that before, but just so you know, for how I sharpen mine, right, I'm going to use this one here because I can cheat a little bit. I'm only use 2 grinds on it, angles, and that's, well, I say 2, it's probably more about 4, but it's probably 4 really. That's a 50 degree, a 55 degree, a 40 and a 45, okay. 50 and 55, it's not exact, so I'm trying to just let you know, I don't ever measure, I'm happy with whatever it comes out with. This one I believe is around 55, and I use a 45. 55 and 45 are probably the main 2. 55, brilliant for hollowing, getting around, it's great. 45 is good on the outside. I use that 45 on outsides, 55, 50 or 55 on the inside. So 40, 45 outside, 50, 55 inside. 45 for steep sides and going down, it's good at 45, but it's no good if you got to get around the bottoms of them. But for sharpening, right, very simple. Like I said, I have my system and it sets up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this one out because I can cheat a little bit here because this is a crown. Right. Oh. So a crown cryer, and it's double-ended. So the beauty of that, I've got a 55, I've got a 45. Okay. So first off, my 55. Right, how would I sharpen that? Well, I would use my Wolverine jig, and again, I'm going to pop this one out of here. That's one. So very easily, I have it set. Now you'll find out what your settings are on here. Mine, I have it. The actual stem there is, if I turn it, no, you can't see it that way. That way, you got 3 notches here. It's between, it's on that end of that notch there and end of that notch there. I find that gives me a good bevel. That's what I find. That's for me. Okay. Now for 55, I have a 50mm protrusion here. Now I don't even know all the measurements of what height I am from there up and all that. That you just work that out yourself and do what you need. Okay, this is what I've done and it works for me. Right, so to give this a quick sharpen, my first hole there does the sharpening. This ain't gonna need a lot because my tools will sharp anyway. So there you go, I'll just do a quick round like that, and then I'll come straight onto the second one, and that gives me that release bevel. Like so, and that will give me that continuous bevel all the way round, and that one there. Okay, that's got a little bit of an old second bevel down there because I've changed it slightly from what I had it before. I wanted this grind on it, so there we go, and I'll get that continuous grind and that continuous on there. The second bevel, like I said, it's 1 to allow me to get the curve on a bowl, but 2, it takes away the hollow grind, because if I've got a hollow grind on that, I'm never going to maintain that bevel around the inside of a bowl. Okay, so that's that side done. Right, the other side, the 45. Right, to get that, I go into the 67. So I've got 50mm protrusion, and then this one has a 67mm protrusion. That gives me a 45 degree angle, and I'm going to sharpen that one on that one because I have this. I don't want it as polished a finish as that. I have it a slightly coarser finish. This is sharp anyway, but I have it slightly coarser because that's mainly used for the outside. Okay, so if we go to this one, and again,
I got caught up on the table.
Right, so again, I turn that on, and I'm in the first hole here. Okay, and you can see I've got no sparks, and then I come onto there, and that will give me my second bevel.
That's the thing with the sparks.
Okay.
Does that mean that it's gone too fast?
That,
isn't it?
Not all the time. These don't. So I'm going slow, and because of the different types of steel, give different sparks. But there you go, and I've got the one facet all the way round. Okay, and then that's my second bevel there. Okay, I don't have to reduce it quite as much because I'm not looking to get a tight curve on this one, and that's sharp, and that well, it's very sharp. And as you can see, that just slows down nice like that. Yeah. Not like a grinder where, and it not too fast. Okay, the slow speed is the key. Okay, right now on this, I'm gonna start with the 45 because I'm doing on the outside, so I'm gonna put that in there. Okay, I'm gonna put it right down low because I don't need a lot of, it's only small, this piece. I'm not wasting a big piece of wood just to demonstrate for that. Like I say, it's I'm not going to do this as a whole bowl. I'm just going to show a little bit to show what the different angle can do. Let me just put my thing in there. I'm going to have a mouthful. I'm hoping, guys, I'm not starting
cold.
anything because I've had a little bit of a throat today. I don't know why. The weather keeps chopping and changing, isn't it?
Usually I pass it on to you. But I haven't had anything. I've had
bully for you.
Yeah, I've had my flu jab, haven't I?
Yeah, well, they wouldn't give it to me because I said I'm not.
You're not special enough. No, you're not special enough.
It's not. I'm not special enough. I'm not old enough. They looked at you and said, "You're going in, love."
I did have to follow all the.
They said, "Go on, love, go straight in."
Like pensioners.
They looked at me and said, "Oh, hang on a minute, boy. You ain't getting one. You ain't old enough." Right. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit on the outside of this just to show you the difference with the grind on the bowl. This is the bowl gouge. Normally I'd use a spindle gouge. I'm using the bowl gouge. I'm going to turn the speed down a little bit because I don't want it at 2,500. Right, so I'm going to turn on, step to the side. Right, it's a bit slow. Bring the speed up a little bit. Right, there you go. Now for me, I'm at 1890, so that's all right. Now again, a lot of people don't do any of this, ride the bevel and come in. You won't do it, okay? Don't try and rub the bevel or something like that. Look at the shape of it. You can see the shadow in it. It's impossible. Easiest way, okay, for no catching. Now, like I said again, I am not going to stand in front of it and turn this way, right-handed. Anything comes off, it's going to hit me. So I'm going to tell Lisa to stand. No. So what I'm going to do, left-handed. Okay, now completely close my flute, completely closed, alright? I come in, there's the wood there, look, flute's closed, right? And I'm just going to rotate it until I pick up that cut. So close, rotate, and my bevel, now my bevel's rubbing, look, my bevel's there, that bevel's rubbing, I've got full bevel control. Now, a lot of time that is now I'm getting a bit far away, so I'm going to move my tool rest in. Yes, I moved it with it turning because if I know how to present this, then I know how to move that without hitting that bit. So I'm bringing that down a little bit there. Right, now this is really good for doing that sort of cut, okay? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly change round to the 55. And we are literally going to do the same thing, okay? Going to completely close it, come in, turn and come around. Now this will give a lot bigger cut because I've got more wing I can use, and the wing isn't straight, it's is slightly curved. The wing's got a slight curve to it, okay? So this can take a little bit more wood. Surprisingly, you'd think it'd be the other way round, the 45 wood. But again, I'm rolling it, so now my bevel, I'm not on this bit, my bevel I'm rubbing is this piece here, okay? Which is just to the left. I'm rubbing that piece there. So I'm coming in, fill it there, and I'm coming round. Now I've got to be careful because this can take a lot of wood. Okay, that can take big shavings like that. Okay, big thick shavings. They're all over the place. Look, I've got it all here. Okay, and it will remove it very quick. This isn't a bone dry piece, it's a piece of maple. Okay, now, very good for doing this cut with the handle down like this and coming in. If I come to do a push cut, right, now it's very controlled and it's very good, but you will tend to get quite a bit of bevel bounce. Here, look, see the tool, look, I'm hoping you can see the vibration on it, right? You will get bevel bounce because to keep that a 55, you have to be pushing this way, okay? So you are naturally pushing the tool in to the wood, okay? Although you've got nice control and we can push it nicely, we will get bevel bounce. There, look, this is where the hardest bit of that wood is. And you will get more bevel bounce, which will give tool marks. Now, if I change this, because where a 40 and a 45 degree come in, it's more so a 40 and a 45 is on push cuts. They love push cuts and not pull cuts. Okay? 45, we'll get that around a bit. Right, a 45 loves a push cut, like that. And no bevel bounce. It wants to go, when you put that on and you put a bit of pressure, it doesn't want to go in and bounce. It wants to go, that naturally wants to go that way. See, look, it just wants to go that way. There's no vibration. It doesn't bounce too much. Unless you're not holding it. I'm getting down to a very small piece here now. Right, so there we go. We're getting to that end. We'll take that off. Right, so if you want to do push cutting around the bowl, and this is brilliant, a 45, a 40 and a 45, see, and that, we've got no tool marks on that, no bouncing. See, we don't get the bevel bounce on it. See, we get no torn grain neither. 45 is what you want if you want to push round. Now, 40s and 45s are good for coming round a bowl here. Start here, come in and follow round. But you must start with your handle over there and you must finish with your handle round here. So you've got to do this. They're no good if you're going to do that. It doesn't like that. This tool doesn't like it. What? No, oh no, that's what I just said. You don't like it. Right, it doesn't like that. Okay, so to come round and round, no, it loves this cut. Right there. Start on the bell, close it, completely close it, no cutting, roll it, pick up the cut just on the right hand side. We're not cutting on the left, we're cutting on the right hand side of the flute, and we will push round, and we can push all the way round and get a lovely cut. Okay, 40 degree, 45 degree, that's what you want. Right, 50 and 55, okay. So if you have that, this is why you don't want really just one tool or one bevel. If you've got 50 or like this 55 and you're going to start here and you're going to push round, you can't just come round, you're going to be pushing because of the angle of the tool. You can't get your tool handle round enough, so you're going to be here, so you're pushing in. So that means as you come round, one, you're going to lose the cut as soon as you come to there, and you're going to have to pick it up again. And when you come round to here, when you come in here, it's not, when you push, if I push on that, it doesn't slide. It wants to push
stuck,
in,
yeah.
right? It wants to push in. If you do that with a 40 or a 45, you push on it, it pushes along. This pushes in. So that's why you get bevel bounce with it. There you go.
There you go.
If that cleared anything up for you there. Right, I'm going to take this off because obviously I'll totally buggered this piece of wood up, haven't I? I can use that and make an egg cup out of that. Right, so we get that off. Now that, like I say, is I'll use that for something. I won't just waste it. That sort of wood is lovely because you get all these lovely spaghetti shavings. Now I will leave that loose like that. It will dry out, and then that's fantastic for getting my fire alight.
Yeah.
Sometimes I put a little sprinkle of white, a little spray of white spirit on it,
Oh, gosh,
and then put it into the fire, and
whoosh.
no, it don't whoosh.
Oh.
It just lights. It
Does
lights
it?
and it lights nice, and it gets my fire alight straight away,
Cool.
and it's good. Right, I'm going to take this off. My worm screw from our
DG Tools.
Something Tools. And I'm going to put a chuck on, and I'll just have a look at now. This for Hollywood. Now I'm not using a piece of wet timber. I've got no green wood I'm going to use on this. This is a piece of old sapele, which is quite hard. It's got a tenon on the end of it, which should go in this jaws. So I'm not using nice soft wet wood or anything like that. This is a very hard piece of wood. If any of you turn sapele and that sort of stuff, you'll know. Okay, so that's what we've got on. Right, so just a quick one for this. Now I always say, some people, they right, I'm going to take my elbow stabber out of here first. I'm going to move my tailstock back and out of the way. Right, I always set up so my cutting edge, when I hold my tool dead straight like that, that my cutting edge is actually on centre. Okay, so I'm on centre there, look, like that. All right. Now some people have it lower so they actually come up to centre. I have it on centre because what I do when I lower my handle, I cut above centre. But when I come round for my finish, I always finish on centre. Okay, so I always say, some people, they go, tool rest will be lower and they'll be down here and they will work up to set and be cutting on centre but working up to it. I don't like that. It doesn't work for me. Okay, so right, I'm going to start off with the 55. It's a 55 degree, this one. Right, sorry, just a mouthful of coffee, guys. My throat is a bit dry. Right. Now then, again, we've got, if you're new to it, we've got two ways of starting. We can put our bevel on closed, rotate, pick up the cut and go. Or we can come round, flute closed, pick up the cut and go. Okay? So you've got both, either way. Best start. Some people start with it up, don't rub the bevel and pick up the cut because it won't be a nice experience, it really won't. Right, so I'm going to start off, the first cut I'm going to do, I'm going to come in, flute's closed, okay, I'm going to rotate my tool, and that's all it is. It's no lifting and no dropping and lifting handles. Flute closed, rotate it, it picks up the cut, and in we go. Okay? You determine how aggressive you want to be. If I come there and I only open up to that, I will only take a very light cut. Okay, a very slow light cut. If I come on and I open it a bit more than that, to there, I will then take an aggressive cut. Like I always say, it's like a motorbike. The more I throttle, the faster it goes. Okay? Now, that's without flute rubbing, can't cut, no one's in any danger, okay? It's not cutting, I'm rotating it, and as I rotate, because we've got a curve, as obviously as I rotate, I've got to just slightly move the handle forward. So rotate, move forward, there's the cut, I pick it up, I go in, I follow it in, and now as I start, see what I'm doing first off, I'm just on this one level, okay? So I'm coming round there. Now, right there, there's vibration. I'm starting to get bevel bounce. Look, if I just hold it there, that's the bevel bouncing, okay? Now that's because to push this, when you push on it, I'm pushing the bevel onto the wood. So what I will start to do, as I pick up my cut, I will now drop my handle and go up and then come down. And then I don't get bevel bounce, and that's clear, okay? Right, the other way obviously is to come round this side, flute closed again, so that would be more of a scrape, okay? So we come in there, that's just a scrape. If I carried on pushing like that, I'll just scrape into it. Right, come there, again, throttle back, bit of acceleration, and away we go. And again, I'm now dropping my handle down, okay? I'm coming round, and as I come round here, I'm going to come down, but I can open my flute up. So I can also rotate back and open my flute, and I get a perfectly smooth finish, and it's all a controlled cut. But it's all about coming on, okay, get that cut, accelerate, so throttle back, okay, come round. As I get to here, I'm maintaining this, so my flute is only that, I've not throttled right back, come round. As I get onto the bottom, now I open the throttle a bit more, so I'm opening my flute, and I can come down. And then by the time I get to the bottom, I've got my flute back, so it's pointing probably at about 1 o'clock. Okay? And that way I can maintain a curve to go round. Now, if we have a 45, so we'll turn that around. Now we've got a 45-degree bevel. Right, now this, again, we can do both ways. We can come on here, low cut in, rotate it, bring it back, come round. We've got to move the handle round more because we've got a steeper bevel, okay? Come round more, open it up a bit, come round, up we go, down we go, but this is a bit... Right, so we're round. That leaves a few more lines. It's a bit harder to keep that 45 in control. As it comes round to here, I'm getting a little bit of the... although I've got that ground away, I'm getting a little bit of bevel rub there, the heels touching. Same, we can come in this way and come in here. Again, we throttle back. It's taking quite a hefty cut. Lisa's going to get notes. She's alright. So I come round. Now, this is good for going down the side. But when I get to here, see these marks I'm getting, these light colours here? That's the bevel. We're not that far in. We're not that far in, but we're getting these lines here, okay? So if you ever get that, it's the wrong grind. You've got 45 chains and use a 50-55, okay? Where this comes in, the beauty of it, if you close the flute, that's closed, come here, this is brilliant for this. Going down the side, okay? When you want to go down the side, this is brilliant. So you go down the side. When you want to come across here, it's not so good. Now, a good way is to go up. You go up and then open the flute a bit. It's a little bit grabby. It doesn't really like it. Okay. I'm virtually right open with the flute to get the finish there onto the bottom. I'm virtually fully open. Right. It doesn't like coming across the bottom of a bowl, not 40 degree, okay? The best way with that is to change over and go back to your 55. If you want to go So if you want to get your sides down quick, then that's fine. But for going across the bottom, this isn't really the grind. And what you don't want to be doing is coming in and going this way, okay? You don't want to be cutting that way. It's the wrong way to cut. But that's the difference between the 55 and the 45, okay? And I've gone down on the side, so it's a bit of a steeple sweep. These bowl gouges are better when you want that long curve, okay? So this one, this will pick that up a bit better, and this will tidy that bottom up. So come in, get it, drop the handle, flute open, come across. Open the flute up. When you're on the bottom like this and you're flat on the bottom, you can open your flute. And if you open your flute, remember, if you open your flute, you're on this little bit of bevel, okay? And that will handle that fine. And you'll get a smooth finish. As long as if you try to come across the bottom with the flute in this position, that will bounce, okay? There's going to be bevel bounce, you're going to get rubbed, and you're not going to get as good a cut because you're pushing into the... If you imagine the end grain being like the straws down across, you're pushing into the fibres here with this bit, you're pushing into it. You have it open, they're coming down and they're slicing on it, okay? So, but be careful, don't open your flute up when you're on the side here because that would be silly. Okay, so when you come down here, flute at that position. As we get round this corner, we can open our flute up. So we open our flute, flute's open up, and we get right across to the bottom, and we've just cut all those end grain fibres. And we've cut them. Right, so then we get a lovely smooth finish. We've got tool marks here because I've gone straight in and then round. I'd have to take a few more cuts on the side, but that's what we get happening, and that is a simple fact of, if we take our, well, I'm going to be like a school teacher now children, anyone got an apple for me? Right, simple fact, that's our grain going across. If we come in with the chisel this way, okay, it's going to do that, right? That's our wood fibres. If we've got it rolled over, if we come in with it open, that's going to slice them. They're going to come down on that cutting edge and they're going to slice. Okay, so when that's turning, that's going to slice through like that. If you've got it rolled over, they're going to come in and they're going to scrape. They're not going to cut, you're going to scrape them off. Okay, an end grain doesn't like being scraped. Okay, but you're coming in like that. It's the same as here. You know, if you've got, if you come in with it this way, that's a scrape. You come in there, and that's going to be cutting. Now, you wouldn't do it on the outside here because you'd get a grab, but on the inside here, you're absolutely fine. And it shows it there, look. It picks up a nice little, look, there you go. That's your end grain there, because we're coming in on an end grain. And what we're doing, trying to slow it down, do it in slow motion here. With the flute open, like that, we're getting a curl come off, because the fibres are going across and we're cutting them because it's open. We're cutting down on that edge. We're not straight. If we've got it that way, your tendency is to close the flute because it's getting aggressive. So you close your flute a bit more. It's the wrong way to go. It's open the flute and then it will cut the fibres. Okay. So as when you come in on a lot of people use a bottom feed. This isn't actually a proper bottom feed because it's got a 45 degree. But if that had a 55, you'd come across with a bottom feed and you're doing the same thing. It's just that you've got your flute open. Okay, so you're going to get the same little curls. Okay, if you went that way with it, it'd be the same. You'll get into it and it gets very hard to turn because we're actually scraping the fibres. We're not cutting them. And you always want to aim to cut fibres. Okay, so if you're new, that's what it is. All right, so when we come across the bottom, if we try to come this way, we start to get that bit of vibration, bit of chugging, right? The tendency is when you get here is to close the flute, and that just gives that vibration. Okay, you're going to scrape the fibres. If we come down and we open our flute, it will cut it. Okay, it will cut those fibres off. They'll be cut off and you won't have no problem. Right, I hope that helped, guys. And we get finished with no torn grain as well. I know I've got torn marks there because I've just been I'm not actually doing a proper sweep cut. Okay, so there you go, and that's it, guys. So that's the little bit on the bowl gouge and why I use the grinds I use. And like I said, if you have trouble getting round the bottom, now if I didn't have that relief bevel, even with a 55, I would never get that curve. Okay, I'd never be able to hold a curve around. So knock that off. It's not anything. It's to give you a tighter curve, but it's also to take out that concave bit. I get a flat. Otherwise, you can't hold it. Even on the bottom there, if it's concaved, it's going to be tip and heel. You can't possibly get, you know, that will fit into that, but that will not fit into that, no matter what you do. Okay, round can't fit in. Round fits in there. Flat doesn't fit in there. Okay, so that's why we take that off. If we've got that flat like that, there's more chance that will hold the bottom as it goes round. So there you go. Right, anyway, that's it, guys. That's the end of my little bit. And then I still say the best thing for that is a spindle gouge. Once you go over to a spindle gouge is totally different. You come in here because I can open the flute from here and I can have my flute open and come all the way around on the bottom and then work my way. I would start here, closed flute, open, come down, go up, 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 and then slice down, slicing straight down through those fibres, and I'm cutting them down, and that's why I like a spindle gouge. And there's no big wing to get in your way. See, I can be cutting here on that tip like that, and look, it's a shaving like that. That's with my flute virtually open. Okay, it's a shaving. That's why I like a spindle gouge. So if you do that exact same thing, I've got another bowl gouge here, look. If I do that exact same thing with a bowl gouge, flute open there, look. See what happens? Even at that point, it's getting a shaving there, but it's so, you are literally a hair away from getting a very nice, because what it's doing, it's taking that shaving, but I can feel it here. It's actually wanting to take the chisel backwards, not forwards. And that, because of that wing, it's just taking too big a shaving. And it's all to do with this, the wings. Okay? It's the wings. They're all right on a can of Red Bull. No good on you at all. Knock your wings off. Right, okay guys, that is it. I will see you on the next one. I'm going in now. I'm gonna, go in, have some dinner, watch a bit of telly. Yeah. Right, toodle pip, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.
Bye,
God,
guys.
if I didn't look so young, I could have probably had a flu jab, couldn't I? It's just, I like Peter Pan, see, I just can't help it, you know.
Just never grow up.
Yeah, I still have to give ID when I go in the supermarket and buy a can of beer.
Yeah, right.
Never mind. Right, okay, toodle pip, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.